next I'll be making the tweeter mounts. If you haven't seen the first part of the install, follow the link up top, get up to speed with that, and then come back and follow along with this. But this is the last part of the system to go in. With the mount itself, I want to make something that drops directly into the factory housing, so I need to copy the fixings that are on the original tweeter, transfer that over to my mount so it does just drop straight in. I don't want to be modifying any of the housing or anything. I just want it to be as simple as it can be, just go straight in and be completely reversible. The tweeter itself has got these two tabs on which lock under and undercut in the housing. I have transferred those over, I've designed that, built off it to make the mount I've got. As I was doing that, there's a limitation I've come across, which is that the voce is pretty much the same size as the opening on the back of the housing. So one of the edges on the mount is really thin. It's an edge that holds the clips on. So it might work, it might not. I need to print it to test it. If it doesn't work, then the only other idea I've got is to make some sort of two-part mount where the tweeter is almost clamped between two mounts, and then that mount will go on as one into the back of the housing. That's the only way I think of doing it, just because of this limitation. And I really don't want to have to resort to having to modify it. So I'll get the first part printed now, see how that turns out, and then go from there. This was the bit I was worried about, this little thin lip. So this slots in that way and then should click. I'll get the support material off now though, give it a test fit. So that's what we've got. It is quite thin. I felt like I was just about to snap it, but I'm hoping once it's all together it'll hold up quite well on its own with the tweeter in and it locked in. This is kind of, hopefully you can see, what I've tried to do is rather than use sort of a horizontal, use the overhang itself to lock underneath, I've kind of flipped it on its side and gone vertically so it locks on the top. I've moved the little pin, the little clip over. So it is slightly different, but I've tried to build it up rather than sort of build out and then up. So let's try it, we'll see. So we're in there. Let's see if it fits in the pillar. So this actually can't be there, this thin bit, not entirely anyway. It needs to stop at these bits. So I'll modify it quickly now, take it off, see if it will go in, and then just tweak the design. Nope, too thin. All of that's just broken off, so I'm gonna have to rethink it, I think. If it was just a little bit thicker, just had a bit more body to it, it would have worked, but... So, that didn't work. Oh well, gone back to the drawing board. It's gonna have to be two parts by the looks of it. Just that edge is so thin, there's just not enough clearance for it. So I've spent some time and designed the new one. So this is the underside. These are the tabs that sort of slot under the existing fixing. And what I've done, I've come out, raised it up, come out for clearance. So this edge is now a bit thicker. And I've added this sort of similar locking mechanism to the original one. And then there's a top for it, which is this bit. So then these pins will sit into that lock and then twist. So the way it's assembled is the tweeter will go into the back this way, and then from this side you'll lock that in and almost sandwich the tweeter between the two, and then the other one as a whole will just lock into the tweeter housing. So it's getting there. Hopefully this one will work. Might have to do a few changes, a few little tweaks, but I'm pretty confident that this one won't fall apart like the other one. Stereo has landed as I've been doing this, so what I'll do, I'll get the stereo fitted now, sort that wiring out that I've got left to do. As soon as I've done that, hopefully these are finished by then. I can test fit them and hopefully they work. If they do, great. I'll get them all in, start reassembling the interior. So these were just finished printing, look like they've come out well. There were a number of steps involved in this to get it right, just because you was working against yourself with the Voce being the same, well, 0.5mm bigger as the original tweeter. Just really made this bottom fixing quite a bit of an issue, but I think I've solved it. So I'll get these fitted now into the pillar. Should stay in with it. Sort of a pressure fit. So that's locked into there. And then that drops into this one. Line it up. Now that's in, should be able to twist. You see that? And that's completely in there now. I can't push that anywhere. So that's locked into there. And then that's it. That is absolutely solid. It's not going anywhere. And completely reversible. Just get the original one, put that back in. So I know you're probably thinking there seems to be a lot of time put into just such a small little part of the job, but in reality there is a much bigger payoff to doing something like that. This customer now has a reversible solution. It's a clean installation. There's nothing been modified in any way, so that's a win. But the bigger payoff is that I've now got a file that I can work with. So in future, when another R8 comes in for the same system or even a different system, I'm able to reprint it, modify it if needed, but I know that the mechanics of that mount will work. So if it's a different tweeter, it's just some small little changes to the diameter, and then I can get that to work. So I can provide the same quality of solution throughout. It's going to save time on the install because I haven't got to do everything I've just done. But equally, I haven't charged this customer for the time I've spent on it. What I've charged the customer for is the installation of the system. So that's down to me to choose how I go about it and what methods I take. And in this case, I've seen an opportunity. Obviously, I've got the door speaker adapters already, but I really wanted to refine, make a tweeter mount for it. I would much rather spend my own time doing it. Obviously, I enjoy doing it as well. Enjoy problem solving and making things like that. So that just about wraps up the system itself. Obviously, I've got to tune it still, but everything's in. So I can move on to the fascia and really focus on that. So if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and keep an eye out for part 3.